Now let's give you some updates from Budget Defense at the National Assembly. Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Communications Commission, Dr. Minumida, has attributed the Commission's low revenue generation to its inability to sell 5G spectrum to telecom operators in the country. Speaking during Budget Defense exercise before National Assembly Joint Committee on Telecommunication at National Assembly Complex in Abuja on Wednesday, Dr. Maida explained that despite NCC's efforts to auction 5G spectrum, it remained unsold. He noted that the two largest telecom operators had already acquired and were utilizing their 5G spectrum, while the third largest operator, which the Commission had hoped would make a purchase, opted to focus on expanding its 4G network instead. The NCC team revealed that in 2024, the Commission had projected a transfer of 332.8 billion naira to Consolidated Revenue Fund, but was only able to remit 111 billion naira. During the session, committee members questioned Dr. Maida and his team on measures being taken to improve telecom services in the country.
We were not able to auction, and this was primarily because of the market conditions. So the two large operators already have 5G spectrum, and they are actually underutilizing it. Now, the third largest operator who we're banking on to purchase this spectrum, unfortunately indicated to us that perhaps this is not the right time to do it, and they made it clear that their strategy was to expand their 4G. So we were operating on very fine margins. We had one slot to sell, and there was only one potential buyer, because as you know, Nine Mobile is currently going through a restructuring to revive its form.
A major reason for the drop in the revenue, that is inability to auction 5G spectrum. And in 2025, apparently you do not have plan to still auction that one. Otherwise, I would have expected a figure close to the 292 billion that you had for 2024, but are only having 49.784 billion for 2025. I wonder what you expect.
In 2024, I think what you did was 25% to Nigerian data protection. The law says you ought to give them 2.8. I am aware that your revenue was cut in 2024, but the percentage you gave them is not at par with what you were cut by. Let's say you were cut by 50% and you cut what you gave them by 50%, then there is justification for that. But if you now give them only 25% of what you're supposed to give them, which is the law, we would like to know who authorized that you break the law.
Earlier, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Telecommunications, Senator Ikra Bilbis, emphasized the sector's significance, citing data from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics that show telecommunications contributes around 16% to the country's gross domestic product. He also stressed the need for NCC to be fully equipped, both financially and operationally, to effectively carry out its regulatory functions.
According to the recent data by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS, the telecommunications sector in Nigeria contributes around 16% to the country gross domestic product, GDP. With this in mind, the NCC being the regulator, it must be fully equipped in all ramifications, including finances, and to carry out these regulatory functions. So in this meeting, it's for us to take a critical look at the funds appropriated in 2024 and how it was applied by the NCC and USF to perform its regulatory functions and propose for the revenue and expenditure in 2025.